Hello, I'm Taylor TMBOTC channel. This will probably be mostly the background for this video because this isn't going to be that quick stream slash video. But I want to talk about some of the comments. So I was genuinely trying to debunk things while also uh, having some fun afterwards because I thought, hey, what if I do what Asmongold people are all saying Asmongold is awesome for? And technically do the same thing here with my comments. And of course, they are also trying to do the same thing, so it's an entire inception of just rage bait crap. I still think rage bait is incredibly dumb, but if you're gonna fight fire with fire, then let's go. But some of the comments, honestly, are just boring. They're not fun or interesting to even tackle. So I just want to get them here because I feel like people need new material. So the first one is someone telling you to touch grass. So this one's super ironic. Not only is this an overused comment and one that I feel like would be the equivalent of a movie cliche today, or hell, it'd be a movie cliche from freaking 20, 30 years ago even. But they are saying it to the wrong type of person. First off, not only do I have videos, oh, sorry that it was loud there. Man, I really can't figure out a good sweet spot for the sound on this, can I, without it freaking either going too loud or too low. Um, but anyways, not only is this wrong in a lot of ways to say to someone like me, I have videos of me actually going to parks and stuff or like little like areas where you hike because I walk like every day, sometimes even twice a day, and I've walked far distances too. 5, 6 miles. I've walked from one town to the other and back. I've done a lot of that. I've done a lot of walking around. Matter of fact, I've practically checked every single street in this area in which I live in. So, and that is not an easy feat. And I need to get the exercise anyways, and that's something I've been more focused on. So, using something like that to say to me is the most ironic and outdated, terrible thing that is overly used. It's boring, there's no reason to tackle it, it's just whatever. Next, of course, let me see. I'm trying to remember the other thing. I think the other thing somebody told, my mind's like drawing a blank for some reason now. Bro, I think I have Alzheimer's. No, definitely not. You would not. It is a very unlikely thing to have at my age. But they also told me to like smoke grass. Oh yeah, I remember the other thing. They said I'm the type of person Asmongold would talk about. And I'm just thinking, first off, that is so wrong. That is not even close. And to add to that, another person said I'm unhinged. I got a couple of points to debunk that alone. But think I'm unhinged or not, it's not. It's a freaking comments, even if it's multiple longer comments. They're comments. They're not hard to freaking write. They're not hard to do. And I do have a lot of things that come to my mind, a lot of things I think of. So when you type a comment, there's a bunch of things that come to my mind, what I could say, whether funny, genuine, whatever it may be. I mean, that's also part of my autism too. I have Asperger's, but I always thought I have had ADHD, but I am not. I am not. What's the word for it? Doctor has not uh, man, I'm losing track of words right now. Guess you can chalk up bad memory. But one of the biggest things to me is I have this problem and tendency where I have to like if I feel like I'm going to forget something to say, kind of like what I'm doing right now. So I gotta like sometimes have it come out, and it's almost something I can't control at times. So I don't know. But that is one thing that led me to think that I have ADHD, but I that is not something that I do, and I am not 100%. Though honestly, my doctors kind of suck. But I'm not to say still. I am not a doctor myself, so do not take that uh, as me specifically saying that 100% I am, not even 90 or 80 or 70 or 60%. But yeah, that is a thing I have a problem with that I don't know how to describe it because like I can't think of anything else that comes close to, at least nothing else that comes to mind. But yeah, person saying I'm unhinged, another person saying I'm someone Asmongold would talk about. First off, if Asmongold is talking about me, then he's talking about the wrong people, clearly. When you got people like the Ms. Kips situation and you got the frickin' Hassan stuff going on, uh, and people are barely touching on Asmongold's crap. People barely touch on his crap. There's only a few times where I've seen people talk about Asmongold, and it's not even bigger channels. So, hell, why not? At least I'm doing something that everybody else isn't. So that's something unique, at least. Uh, but I would like it if bigger channels covered some of the crap he did. Maybe it needs to be on a bigger scale, but yeah, he's the reason I did it is it was a slow amount of stuff building over time, and it only just like got to the point where it's like, okay, bro, you have a track record now. So that's why I eventually touched on it. Otherwise, I technically held back longer than most would. But when it comes to saying I'm one of those people, there are clearly worse people to talk about and people that I'm pretty sure he would have talked about more so. If he's talking about people like me, then that's a problem. That is not a good thing, and that just further proves my point that uh, he's unhinged, if anything. He's closer to that. Also, somebody who would be more unhinged, when you use unhinged, that would be more for someone like Mini Lad. Do I even approach that level of unhinged, bro? Even close? I mean, once again, they're comments. They're not hard to do, especially when you think like I do. They're not hard to do, and they don't take very much time out of your day. Second, it's my freaking channel. I can comment on it however I freaking want, as long as it's not freaking something inappropriate, rude, or going to break the law or something. Obviously. Oh, sorry. Obviously. It went over there. Saw that. But yeah, I don't know where I have to put this for it to finally freaking not be. I think I just want to have it at like 9 or something. Let's do that. I hate that I have to make it small. But if I'm unhinged, then what the frick do you call frickin' people like Mini Lad, the Doctor Disrespect situation there, or uh, I don't know, an actual psychopath like Jeff Dahmer or something? What do you call those people then? If you call me unhinged, the only unhinged thing you hope that I don't do is that I'm a snake and I unhinge my jaw, ready to frickin' devour you, because I will. No, anyways, I think I will. But yeah, that is just such a stupid thing to say. And once again, like Asmongold, another thing is Asmongold is no Yang Yi. He's no Dull and Dark. He's no any YouTuber, Moist Critical, whatever that touches on like different subject matter or news stuff. Not even like I mean, he's mostly been doing like political stuff, which he's also said really unhinged stuff during too. He's even admitted once that he's like an angrier version of himself, or apologized in that way, or whatever the hell. But like, that is not good, bro. And if that, if you're saying that about yourself, I wonder what other situations you're like that with. So, bro, if anything, he's closer to unhinged than I am. I mean, he has more of a community to create that kind of environment anyway. I do not. Not yet, anyways. So, calling me unhinged is just does not make freaking sense at all. When you have like a spectrum of what the level of someone not unhinged to someone who is unhinged. If I'm on that spectrum at all, I would either be in the middle or on the lower half, more likely. So Comments are not hard to do, even if it's as many comments as I've made. You can also tell by the time period in which I make the comment, because I'm pretty sure they have times on them when they were posted. They say hours ago or whatever the hell between each other. So maybe that's just a time I'm not busy or awake enough to make such comments. I'm also up a large period of the day. I do have sleep problems too, but like there's still a large period of the day that I'm doing my own things, whether I'm hanging out with friends, doing chores around the place, or like I said, taking my walks. I'm hoping to get back to my job again. I'm also going to be doing some, hopefully, enrolling in college soon. We got to figure some things out there. But yeah, like uh, to say that stuff is just ridiculous and does not work, does not make sense, nothing. And it is old as hell. It is old as time. Yeah, I think that's about all the comments that I got more recently. Just people trying to be rude. And once again, a lot of the people, I know they are, but I'm frickin' go after them anyways with my frickin' points. Uh, but it gets to a point where it's just boring and you don't care about it anymore. So it's best that I do this in a way that it makes it difficult for people like that to even comment that kind of stuff without either making themselves look bad or something else entirely. Of course, they try to ratio you to all that kind of crap. They also rage bait, or they're just grifters, or something, or even the fanboys or fangirls themselves, whoever they may be of that group. It seems the Asmongold thing, especially I've had people from Synthetic Man even, or freaking Jim Sterling, who have attacked me before. They are also not very creative with their freaking comments and insults. Just a lot of preschool level, just boring, overused, seen it freaking comments. Honestly, it's getting boring. I find the stuff that's more fun are people that have genuine, interesting things to say or add to the conversation, or people that want to talk about something else that doesn't include just Asmongold. Honestly, I'd rather talk anything else to Asmongold, but the reason I bring him up as much as I have is because I feel like there is not much being done about his crap, that he's built it over a reputation of time, and that it's only gotten worse over time. There's many factors though, but those are some of the shorter answered ones. And I've probably answered some of the others in the comments below. There's also just the way he executed some of his crap. There are so many ways you could say or execute, or choices you could have made that were better, but you choose the one that is obviously the worst option. But I think a lot of the reason he gets lucky is he had, like right now, for example, the Mizkif and Hassan stuff is going on. So, of course, people would probably forget that stuff. Not even pay attention to his stuff. His stuff probably doesn't come to their level. And then you got stuff like the Mr. Beast situations or Logan Paul back in the past, all sorts of stuff going on to build up over time that YouTubers would touch on. I would hope that eventually, if he does do more stupid, ridiculous things, that Actman will eventually, because Actman was a friend of his, and if Actman saw some of the unhinged behavior, there are things people have pointed out too that Asmongold did say he liked the art, but and that like people have also said people were pushing him to talk about it or whatever. Even though it's been 5 years, I don't remember exactly how they worded it or said that, but I don't even remember who it was. But I'm pretty sure they're in the comments of those videos. But nonetheless, it's like, first off, I don't watch Asmongold anymore. I watch people, whoever does actually talk about him at least. So if I'm getting wrongful information, then it's coming through what I've learned from them. So, but also from what I have seen in the clips, if he has said the other things, unless it's taking it, but I don't feel like that person's dishonest enough to do something like that. And I'm not going to look through long ass live streams that I don't care about and don't want to get involved in. Also, I don't care about political stuff. I don't want political stuff on my channel at all. I'm the complete opposite, and it's another reason I don't care for Asmongold's content at all. And honestly, political stuff's getting freaking boring. It's overused. It's the one thing everybody is like trying to grasp onto as their big, like, oh, this is going to get people's attention. Where I just want to be a fun channel. Once again, I do touch on certain things once in a while, but nothing that's like very specifically and strongly like political or whatever. So it's not even close to the kind of stuff he touches on. So yeah. Most of my stuff would have to do with either gaming. I also do art, so my Facebook. I wonder if I linked my Facebook actually. It might even be on my X account. I hate that it's called X now instead of Twitter, but whatever. But yeah, I just think these comments I finally want to freaking lay to rest. Have them please die in peace because you are overused, you are boring, you make no sense, you are flawed, and you do not work in these circumstances, yet you think you do. So I'm finally putting them to goddamn rest once and for all. And besides, anybody commenting that's going to use it, luckily you can't really swear or like say too much rude things. YouTube has made some new rules around that stuff, or at least they've done something to my channel where you can't, because even I can't type in like swear words. I actually had a comment on one of my videos where I was going to call myself a dickhead. I was going to say, what a dickhead this guy. And I found out that when I tried to enter it, it was saying make sure that it applies to our terms of use or whatever. So I found out that's probably a no-go. So other people try to find another way around it of how they can be rude to you because it's slowly being cut away. But I mean, I think that's a good thing, honestly, because I talked about the Save a Fox situation, and I think that is proof enough that that kind of stuff does not need to exist at all. And just like with Asmongold, there are a million ways you can touch on that stuff. Also, to come back to the Asmongold thing, he was also saying he hated it at the same time he liked it. So make up your goddamn mind. Also, I feel like with how angry he got, the motivations he had, and that he went through the trouble of even tracing it or whatever the hell with AI, shows that there was a genuine pissed off anger and not liking of it. And it didn't just change the hammer, by the way. And also, my friend brought out, it's funny that these jokes write themselves, where he complained about a hammer needing to be bigger, like he was compensating for something. My dick's bigger. Yeah, I heard that one before too. A million freaking times. Also feels like a movie cliche at this point. Get some new goddamn material. Anyways, I'm glad I got to tackle this stuff, make fun of it, uh, finally lay it to rest. It needs its own grave after all. It needs to die. I don't know why people have to say the same goddamn thing. Like, come on. When you feel like a movie cliche, it's just sad. Or just a comment that somebody's seen many years ago and many times. So if you found something interesting here, or you have your own points of view or whatever, uh, leave them in the comments below. I will see you next time. I hope you have an awesome day. And I would rather have you checked out, I have better videos than the Asmongold stuff. Also, that's another point. Before I go, people would probably make fun of you for the quality of your content, but honestly, those because I don't have the tech to do certain things, like I don't have an Elgato anymore, sadly, and I can't edit the way I would want to. Not exactly. I'm still not entirely familiar with OBS, and I've been mostly doing streaming, anyways. So and I use these types of video formats for streaming situations too. It's really a little effort video, so it's just as easy as a frickin' one of those comments I make. So once again, I don't know why people make a big deal and talk about it as if it's a bigger deal than it actually is, but they do anyways, and that's clearly not the frickin' case. In some cases, and more likely also, I've pointed this out before, if somebody was actually being a child over somebody, because I've had somebody call me childish when they actually had the more childish freaking lines. I've even seen typos, shorter comments. They would more likely do a shorter or typo filled comment than a larger one, if anything. So that would make more sense, unless you had something very simple and very fast to say. But that's not always the case. So I do not think a lot of the previously said things or comments work or are relevant or even age well. So nonetheless, I hope you have a great day. I will see you next time